Good evening, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening.
You said your daughter was involved in beauty pageants?
She was very good at them.
And in your testimony, you said that one of your favorite parts of these pageants was picking out these skirts and swimsuits that Tracy wore, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was happy to see her happy up on the stage, and if by picking these swimsuits she had a better chance of winning, I was happy to do so as a father.
You're wealthy, correct?
Yes.
And isn't it true that your house is quite large?
Yes.
And in fact, one could go so far as to say that your house is quite complicated and difficult to navigate if one is not quite familiar with the layout of the house?
You might say that.
In your statement, you say that Tracy told you that Logan made her feel creepy, correct?
She did.
And is your daughter honest with you?
She was.
Tracy showed signs of molestation at least 72 hours prior to her death. If it was indeed Logan, as you claim, does it not seem odd that Tracy did not tell you of any of this?
I don't know. Logan might have convinced her not to say anything to anybody.
Let me take you to the night, December 25th. You were at a party that night, correct?
Yes.
And at this party, you consumed alcohol, correct?
Yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary. It was just a Christmas party.
The next morning, on the 26th, you said that you called the police, correct?
I did.
However, the ransom note said specifically that if you called the police, that the kidnappers would cut off Tracy's head, correct?
Yes, well, Jules and I made the decision together that it would be in Tracy's best interest if we called the police trying to help.
However, didn't you say that Jules was hysterical that morning?
Yeah, but we still made the decision together to call the police.
Throughout your testimony, you say that you repeatedly searched your home, correct?
Yeah, brief search and then later on more in-depth search.
But isn't it true that the ransom note said that Tracy had been kidnapped?
Yeah, but we wanted to see if there were any signs of a kidnapper in the house.
Did you find any indication of a murder anywhere?
No.
So really you had no reason to be searching your home for anything, the basement least of all, since you had every reason to believe that Tracy had been taken to a different location?
But we were looking for clues that might lead to the apprehension of a kidnapper, so we did have a reason.
Just a clarification, what did you do when your son Jeff came down?
I told him to go back upstairs. I don't want to get him involved in this. It was a very traumatic experience for us, nonetheless him.
May I please draw your attention to your witness testimony?
What page?
It is on page... It's at the very bottom of page 20.
Okay, what sentence or?
It's the last line. At 9 a.m., our son Jeff woke up and came downstairs. I drove him over to a neighbor's house to hang out with some school children.
Hold on a second. Let's ask the defense if there's any objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Now, please, go ahead.
So in your testimony, you state that at 9 a.m. your son Jeff came downstairs and that you drove him over to a neighbor's house?
Yes, for the same reason. I don't want to subject him to the traumatic experiences that we were going through.
I would like to draw your attention to Exhibit 11. This is an interview with your son Jeff, in which he says that he first came downstairs around 6 a.m. and at which point you told him to go back upstairs. Can you think of any reason why your testimony and your son's interview would differ so greatly?
I don't know.
You said that upon finding Tracy, you planned to leave Lawton that very night and made no effort to speak with the police, correct?
Yeah, I just was looking out for the safety of my family. Thought someone was out to get us in the neighborhood, and I really just wanted to get into another state and get my family safe.
And even though they asked you for a statement, you refused to cooperate with them in any way?
Yes, well, I was in a state of shock. My daughter had just been murdered. I couldn't think straight.
However, in your testimony, you said that you feel liked in the community, correct?
I did until My daughter was murdered.
But your reason for leaving Lawton is that you feared for your family's safety, correct?
Yes,
But isn't it true there was a police presence associated with your house following the murder?
there was, but until this point, Lawton Police Department hadn't protected my daughter or my family, so I was not confident in their abilities of protecting us in the future.
Up until that point, they had no reason to protect your family in particular. After the murder, it is part of a police officer's job to protect people who do not feel safe.
Yeah, but part of a police officer's job is to protect the citizens from murder. So my daughter was murdered, they did not executed their job well.
Have you ever been unfaithful with your wife?
I might have been.
Objection, character evidence and relevance.
It's already been asked and answered. A little too late. Go on.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the questions.
Anything further from